If harvest successful, flow to cook? Question mark?
This is me. Is this them?
Oh god, my dumb.
No, because this is also me. Right click and drag to navigate.
Oh no. What am I doing wrong? How the if else? Like E or
That's
F?
exactly that's exactly what he said. Oh no, you found a bug.
I don't know
Oh
how to do this.
no.
I'm trying to replicate it. I just can't do it.
God, we'll be here a while. Down to me. I wouldn't trust me. Am I crazy? Do I only have flow right now? Why isn't successful making a line?
Hello, my name is Marco, and I make content for introspective hot gamers. And if you're here, I'm just gonna have to assume that's you. I am a solo developer working on my first commercial game. I have codenamed Hive Forge. The reason for the very, very ominous name is because I am still early in development and I am still exploring the various different exciting directions that this project could take. And naming early can be kind of a trap, so we're calling it Hive Forge for now. I have built a simulation engine where players can code the behavior of agents using intuitive drag and drop visual scripting coding blocks. And while that engine is done, I am now testing how to employ this engine in a way that maximizes the fun output in the amount of time that I've set myself to complete this project, which is about 2 years. I have just released a brand new prototype that uses this engine earlier this week on itch.io. And there on itch, you can also find previous prototypes that I have built. First one is called the Hazel Problem. It is a simple puzzle game where you control the behavior of a hazel tree and try to grow it out into a beautiful hazel forest. The second one is called Xenogenesis, which is a colony sim where you control an alien hive mind that harvests the planet's resources while also trying to defend itself from an ominous tendril-y enemy. That was what my last video was about. I called the last video a mycelium-inspired enemy, and also in the thumbnail said slime mold pathfinding. Slime mold is not mycelium. They're a completely different kingdom. I made a mistake. It happens often. By the time I realized the video was already out, I tried to put a disclaimer in the description of the video, which reminds me, you should read the description of this video in case I've made a mistake now. It's gonna be down there. Don't look now when the video's over for links and stuff. So, prototype number 3. What is it about? Well, with each individual prototype, I try to not only explore the direction of the game, but also try to tackle a problem that I was seeing with the engine. So these prototypes aren't just about discovering different directions that this game could go, it's also about improving the HiveForge engine itself, the coding engine that I'm using to build this game. A major problem that I've had with these past prototypes is that people struggled learning the system, the engine, which is a big problem because what I imagine is the backbone of the success of this game in 2 years or so is that it is going to be intuitive. I want people to play this game regardless of whether or not they've had previous experiences with coding, with different coding games. I want it to be a game that is for people who like an intellectual challenge, but not people who need necessarily to have spent time learning specific syntax. I love to code, and even I am daunted by games that require me to learn languages that I haven't learned yet. I don't want that to be a reason why people don't play this game. And I know that visual scripting can be intuitive. I know that there's lots you can do with it and that people can learn it relatively quickly. I have taught coding through visual scripting to children, and I see how quickly they are able to pick it up. I know it's possible. I just want to make sure that my game can do that. How? Up to this point, and probably in the future, as I make more of these public-facing early prototypes, I have had to make tutorial videos that I post alongside them to explain to people how to play. It's a bad sign. I don't want people to necessarily need tutorial videos in order to learn the game. So the game is going to have a tutorial, certainly. Most games need a tutorial. I don't rely on tutorial videos for my game, of course. But at the same time, as I'm making these prototypes, I can't make a tutorial video for every prototype because tutorials take a long ash time. So this prototype, just this once, Dominion, is all about tutorialization. I made a prototype that is just about teaching the game. In case the game is completely unteachable, or that is just too hard to teach in a tutorial, or that I don't know how to make tutorials. Those are risks with this kind of game that I'm making. It's a brainy game. It's true. I like to, like I said earlier, you know, it's my brand. If you're watching this video, you're smart, because only smart people watch my content. I make games for smart people. I make content for smart people. So if you're here, congratulations, nerd. So Dominion is designed to test accessibility, tutorialization, but importantly, you know, as a good scientist, I have to prove myself wrong. I can't hold the player's hand through every single step, of course, especially as the tutorial progresses. I have to begin to trust the player to have learned some things along the way. And so near the end of the tutorial, there's also some leaps of faith that I have to take, that I have done a good enough job earlier on in the tutorial teaching these mechanics that now the next step feels intuitive. That is where the actual proof in the pudding is. Even if I make a really good tutorial, if I have to tutorialize every single aspect of the game, every second of the game, there's a little tutorial box saying, click here to do this, click here. The player's not actually playing the game. So at some point, the tutorial has to either completely end or dissolve away. So Dominion, in some ways, is meant to test that. If with this coding engine, if with HiveForge, if it's possible to get to that point. Well, we shall see. That is what the other part of this video is going to be. I'm filming this section December 16th, so I just released the prototype yesterday. Later tonight, I am going to have people test the game. People who have never played any HiveForge game before, any of the other prototypes, people who have never played any coding games, people who are not coders. That is who I'm testing this on. I have voluntold some friends. I have pressured some friends. I have asked some friends to help me with this. These are my friends, people who are already invested in the project, but even they have been anxious about trying it out. They don't think the game is for them, even though they are my audience. Smart people. Even they are intimidated by a coding game. But for the sake of this experiment, they have agreed to try out Dominion. Round of applause for our guinea pigs. Thank you. So, some spoilers ahead. To give some more context, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what the prototype is exactly and what the tutorial teaches. I'm going to talk about Dominion, and then I'm going to show players playing it. So if you haven't played it yet, you have to do it. Now is the time. The link is down there with my disclaimers about something that I got wrong in this video. It's all down there. Go, Pokemon Go to itch.io right now and play Dominion. Okay, it's a fun game, and you don't have to be scared, because hey, if you can't figure out how to play it, the person who's failed is me, not you, right? That is the point of this. So go, I'll give you some time, pause the video, I'll be right here, and after you have played the game, you can come back and tell me how it is that you found the tutorial in the comments. It's like a 10-15 minute experience max, okay? So you can go there and try it out and come back, and I'll be waiting right here, okay? You done? Okay, let's go. So big discovery that I made during Dominion is that it's very easy for a coding game god sim to just become a sandbox. And when you control everything, there's no incentive for competition. If you code both the hunter and the deer, and the hunter happens to give you more resources, their prayer fuels your power, you're just gonna code the deer to stand there and get killed. It's no different than just picking up the deer and putting it inside of the hunter's mouth. It is unfun in a variety of different ways. For one, it's unrealistic, which kind of fails on the simulation front. It also just neuters the possible complexity that the game could have, the complexity of these systems. So the idea is, what if other gods control the deer and you control the hunter? Their incentive is to code the deer in a way that keeps the deer alive, because that is how they gain their points. And your incentive is to code the hunter to be as effective as possible. That means you're constantly adapting to their code and they are adapting to your code. You're building a system together, you and this other god, which is probably an AI. I use this in a video game AI sense, not ChatGPT sense. There is a tension that emerges that makes the fun, and it is actually a lot closer to how nature actually works. So in Dominion, while you control folk, another god, the god of fertility, controls a plant, lion's tooth, a vile weed. In the early game, you can actually cooperate with this god because you need something to feed your folks. And this plant reproduces when the folk eats them by... The seeds go into their mouths and come out of their... The seeds go down their digestive tract like they do in that yogurt commercial and come out the other side. But later on, as this other god, Oshunik, gains more power, they no longer need to rely on folk to reproduce. They can reproduce by wind dispersal, and so they want to discourage folk from eating their plant, since that means less plants that get to reproduce. So then lion's tooth becomes poisonous. So then the player has to adapt to that themselves by in turn increasing their own power and harvesting the plant, removing its poison before consuming it. And while actually this discovery wasn't the main purpose of Dominion, it was still a very exciting discovery. And while it's still early to fully put my weight behind this kind of mechanic, the first 10-15 minute tutorial feels really promising. It kind of creates an idea of a loop in my head, and hopefully in the player's head as well, of what a game like this could be. Keeping track of other gods is also something exciting you can do between your coding sessions, right? Between coding an entity, instead of just needing to watch them do their thing, you have to keep an eye on what other gods' entities are doing and learn from their behavior and how it is that you can best exploit them in some way. It feels like counter coding. There's also a kind of a hacker fantasy in there somewhere. So I actually think I'm onto something here. But as exciting as this discovery has been, none of it matters. None of it matters if the players can't actually play the game. That is what the tutorial is about. That's what Dominion is about. So here's the moment of truth. I'm about to sit down with some of my friends who have yet to try any Hiveforge game and see if they can figure out how to get to the end of the tutorial. And I should put this disclaimer here. If they fail, it is not their fault. It's my fault, right? My job in all of this was to make a tutorial that would prove that my game is accessible and intuitive. And if it doesn't prove that, it's my fault. It's not them. This is a one clown circus, okay? I claim the clownhood in every case. I will be the martyr. I'll be the clown martyr. So, shall we see how it goes? Hi, Pumpkin.
Hello.
Hello, Samantha.
Oh, hello there.
Hi, thank you so much for agreeing to play this game for me.
Yeah, I'll be your test subject.
Thank you,
for
my
tonight.
guinea pig. Do you have any experience coding?
No.
Have you played any of my past games before that?
I started up, but I didn't know what I was doing, so I closed it down.
It was the Hazel Problem,
It was
right?
like the original, yeah, it was the
The
Hazel
original
problem.
Hazel Problem, okay. How far did you get in the Hazel Problem?
I opened up the coding bank and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and then I left.
Okay. Hopefully you get farther
And then I
this
read,
time.
and then I read other people talking about how they're doing amazing. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I don't know what that means.
What I'm trying to test for is I want to see if you can get to the end of the tutorial without me intervening and being like, click here, do this.
We're gonna be here a while then.
Hopefully, okay, if you get really, really stuck, you can ask for help.
Right-click and drag to move the camera. Use the scroll wheel to zoom in and out.
An interesting control scheme.
You have been assigned God of Folk at birth. Good for you. This should be easy. Click on the blueprints folder in the bottom right to open your blueprints. Open the blueprints by clicking the blueprints folder in the bottom.
Didn't expect I could do that. But I would stop right there.
Folk truly are simple creatures. You can learn all you need to know about them at a glance. Simply click on a folk to open its info panel.
Oh god, that's not a whole lot. It's not gonna last a long time. Interesting.
Okay, here it is, the moment of truth.
What is tick? Oh, it's a tick rate. Yeah.
Start by deleting the debug block, click on it, and drag it into the trash bin icon in the bottom left of the blackboard.
Nice.
Now, right-click anywhere. Now, right-click anywhere on the board to create a new prey block.
Holy shit, it's working.
Something is happening. You can hover over a unit to see what they are currently doing. Oh, they're praying.
Oh, they're praying alright. I can't believe this is actually working. Alright, I have currency. Thank god, thank me.
Whoa, slow down. Use one to return to regular speed. The fate of each mortal is death, eventually. Even you can't change that. Oh.
Yeah, I played Crusader Kings. I know how to speed up time and do nothing. But is it going to play a nice death sound effect like Crusader Kings? That's the question.
No, it doesn't. Not yet.
Put it in post.
Put in post.
Look at that. Looks like you got a notification. New god, huh? I suppose it was only a matter of time. Let's find this new god and see what they're up to. Right-click and drag to navigate the domains tree panel and find this so-called Ashunic.
Oh god, am I dumb?
This is me.
We've reached the end of the line.
Oh no.
Is this them? No, because this is also me. Right-click and drag to navigate.
Okay, I'll
I don't know
help
if I
you.
can find them.
So you have to right-click and drag inside of the domain tree.
Oh, fuck. Oh, there they are.
Oh, I see, okay. Ah, there she is. Her base domain is fertility. She will soon start filling the world with the weed known as lion's tooth.
We have vegetation. Oh, where's their behavior graph?
Yes!
We did it! Interesting. Oh, I definitely want that. I want to plant my own seeds. Let's make it better, folk. Oh no! What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, there we go.
I did it.
Folks will need to decide when to pray and when to forge. The if/else block is useful for that. Create one now. Flow if else. I like that it doesn't let me do the pray one anymore. I wonder if wait, I'm gonna test something.
You trying to break my game?
I literally can't delete it. That's great. That's good though. I mean, you don't want people to delete it. But
That's what
I thought that I could.
making a tutorial. That's why it's so hard. You have to think of those things.
I see how this is.
Let me in. Let me in, please.
Oh no.
You need to connect to flow. To flow and if else.
Oh,
There we
oh, the
go.
same function as before.
There we go.
Alright.
If/else splits the flow into two. It requires a true or false connection to test. Let's use our new block called is hunger below. Now simply connect the true false output of the is hunger below block into the if else block. Okay, so
If else.
simply connect the true false output of the if else block. Do I connect it into the true false? Okay. I think it told me at the bottom, I just didn't read it.
Let's see if else.
So the if else block is the one that you just put down. So you need to connect where it says true and false on the is hunger below to the true false on the if else. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
With this, you should have all the blocks you need. Can you make your folks forage when hungry and pray otherwise? Forage when hungry. So, if true, if hunger is below 40%, if true, they forage. If else, they pray.
That's suspicious.
Can they forage? Please, God. Can they feed themselves? Is he surviving though?
He's just eating.
Eating.
You didn't
Oh,
tell him to pray
God.
at all. But he's eating.
Hey, make him pray also? Do else pray?
So there's three outputs to if else, right? One is if
Yes.
true, the other one's else, the other one's after. So I added the after to the if else because I wanted a way for you to continue the flow if or else, right, after. Regardless of if it's true or false, after it goes down true or false, it goes to after. So what you need to do is actually tell them to forage if the hunger bar is below that. So forage should be an if true, and then pray should be an else. After means that they will do forage regardless if true or false after they're done whatever it is that you tell them. So from if true up there put it to forage instead. Just put it there. It'll disconnect the other one. There we go.
Ah, I see, I see.
So now, if they're hungry, they're gonna forage, and if they're not hungry, they're gonna pray. Right now, the way that you had things coded, they're gonna pray and then forage, and then pray and then forage, and then pray and they forage. So they wouldn't get much prayer done. They'll pray like once.
I'm so bad at this.
No, no, please don't say that. It's my fault. I shouldn't have put the after thing in there.
Oh yes, that's a lot faster.
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
that's way better.
They're praying for a long time before they. See, they're spreading their seeds when they poop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that affect her though?
Yeah, I mean
guess.
it gives her points.
It gives her points. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But I don't want her to have points. I'll get to the nuclear era and I'll kill her. It's fine. Hang on. Unmet deity gifted invest in poison block to Ashunik. Ashunik has least wind power from unmet deity. Ashunik has updated Lion's Tooth behavioral graph. Well, let's look at it though. It looks like Ashunik changed Lion's Tooth seeds dispersal method, favoring wind dispersal instead. Aerodynamic. Ah, I see.
Alright, what do we got?
You have grown strong enough to expand your dominion. Domain! Domain. Go ahead and purchase the main expansion from the main tree. Oh, that's awkward.
What is awkward?
Uh-oh.
Oh wait, how come you don't have the money? Where'd your money go? Oh, you spent it all to buy. Uh-oh. You bought another one just. Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens.
Oh no. Oh no, Pumpkin. Just save up. Just save up.
Yeah.
Don't buy any more.
That forage block is now pretty dangerous. Dangerous.
Oh my god. This is why you don't work at 3 a.m. in the morning.
So now they can cook it ostensibly.
I will leave you to figure out the logic, but remember that you must connect the inventory item ports on blocks that ask for it.
So, if harvest successful, flow to cook? Question mark.
So if true, you harvest Lion's Tooth. You need to cook. So flow goes here. Wait, don't tell me.
God, we'll be here a while. Down to me. I wouldn't trust me.
Eat from inventory. Correct? It says that inventory always has to have something, right? So I think this is correct.
Do I only have flow right now? Why isn't successful making a line?
So the dashed lines are data lines. The
Okay.
solid lines are flow lines. So flow only ever connects to flow.
Interesting.
So successful is a true or false type of data, not.
So flow is always just moved to the next thing.
Flow is always moved to the next thing, yeah. But basically, if you want to separate whether or not they've been successful in harvesting, all you need to do is add a if-else statement, and then connect that to successful.
All right, let's try this. Else what? Do I make an extra one?
So
Else harvest again?
if it ever reaches a dead end, right, with else, it'll go back to the beginning of tick. Always at the end.
Okay,
of
so
flow.
else is automatically.
Else is
going back
automatically going
here.
back to tick.
All right.
So you're gonna need. Hang on. Just gonna.
How bad are my faults?
It's not bad. It's my fault. I just don't want you to get stuck, so I'm going to interrupt you. There's things you need to connect still, right? So you're connecting flows, but the if-else doesn't know if true or false, right? It doesn't take that automatically. You have to connect the true or false to something. That's the other way
So,
around. So
true or false in this case,
is whether or not the harvest was successful.
which is an inventory item. If
No.
they get something in their inventory?
The inventory item is a reference to the inventory item, yes. But first, you need to connect successful to true false. There we go.
Okay, if harvest successful.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Then you're gonna cook. Now they don't know what to cook. You need to reference their inventory item.
Do I have their item?
You do. In the harvest block, there is an output for the inventory item.
Oh, you're right. So should I make a second harvest to reference, or should I
no?
reference?
That is the one that it is outputting an inventory item that you need to reference. There we go, and you put that into cook.
Oh god. Like that?
Yeah, like that. No, wait. Go back. The next block also needs a reference to inventory item. The eat from inventory. But what's nice is that you can just use the cooked item there. Cooked item into inventory item. From the cook block into.
I see.
There we go.
Okay.
I like the fire animation.
Yeah, there we
where it, like,
go.
blows in the wind. Harvest. You did it! Well done. This concludes the Dominion tutorial. Thank you for giving this prototype a play. Okay, but I can do more shit, right? Is there more I can do?
No, that is it. But hey, I'm flattered you want to keep playing. That's nice.
I do.
What did you think? The tutorial do its job?
The tutorial helps a lot. I think the tutorial helps to like explain the blocks. And it also kind of forces you to stay in place and like figure it out, which like before it was kind of overwhelming because it was like I have access to all of these things, and it was like, yeah. So now that like I don't have that, I'm like forced to figure it out step by step, like a tutorial does.
You're not the first person to try to connect flow, the other types of variables to flow, right? Even though I mean I never explained in the tutorial about the dashed lines and the
I wouldn't have noticed
solid
that personally.
lines, but I do try to mostly stick to putting flow on the tops of the blocks, except for the if else, which is all flow. And then also mostly just naming flow, and everything else. But I need more signifiers. Like for example, I think maybe making the flow be an arrow instead of a circle. An arrow out, an arrow in.
Yeah, I think that'd be better than flow, because flow can have many meanings to me.
It's true. I mean, I think I would call it flow and also have an arrow.
It's also just me being bad at like flowcharts and if-else statements.
But I want you to be good. Can't you just be good for me?
You should want something attainable, honestly.
The one thing that I felt was a little weird for me, and I think that's just me, is I've never used Q to continue a tutorial or a dialogue.
I have no clue what the hell to use, so I just went with Q because it was like left hand.
In my head, F makes sense.
What do you think,
Or even
Samantha?
E.
What letter would you use to progress it? Did you think Q was
No.
weird? Did you think Q was weird, or is pumpkin
I mean,
weird?
For context, I think it should be like E or
That's
F.
exactly that's exactly what he said. Oh no, you found a bug.
I don't know how I did
no.
this. I'm trying to replicate it. I just can't do it.
So, mixed results, I would say. I had to break my own rule against divine intervention and step in and help Samantha out. Otherwise, she would not have been able to finish at all, which is not good. There were a lot of places where she got lost, but the good thing is that being able to watch her, I actually was able to take note of those places. So there are some actionable points. Samantha also didn't read the tutorials much and admitted so herself. But it's also important that whatever tutorial I make fits the type of player that doesn't read tutorials, ironically. I need more indications besides the tutorial prompt. Because, you know, even the smartest gamers can be a little lazy when it comes to reading, right, Samantha? Pumpkin, on the other hand, seemed to take to it really well, which is great considering he himself had issues playing the Hazel problem before. The part he struggled with wasn't the coding itself, it was actually just managing some of the UI, which Samantha also got stuck in, which tells me that maybe some issues that I had with the tutorial doesn't have to do with my game and just the fact that it's not a very good tutorial, which is good. Actually, because it means that my game is not untutorializable. It is not so brainy. And even though Samantha struggled, she did say she would be willing to try again, which is good because before doing this tutorial, she wanted nothing to do with that game. So it's an improvement. Pumpkin going from not being able to play at all to being able to play. Samantha going from not wanting to play at all to wanting to play. That's a movement towards the right direction. I'll take it. The conclusion to this experiment, I would say, is that the game is not impossible to teach, which is good. Very good to hear. But it's also not quite there yet in terms of accessibility. There are lots of things that are missing, which is to be expected. We're still early. I think I have to be clear to the point of being redundant. Clarity to the point of redundancy. In design, that is called affordances. Things like flow having their own type of outport icon, maybe an arrow instead of the circle to differentiate and make sure that people don't try to connect variables to flow. Giving variables different colors so that people don't try to connect variables that won't match. And when designing the actual tutorial, having more visual clues about what to do instead of just text prompts. So I definitely learned lots from making this prototype, from watching my friends play, from making this video, and I hope that you as well have learned something. I am not some master game designer with a gazillion tips to give you what to do or not to do with your indie game. I'm just starting myself with my very first game. So the best value I can offer you in these videos, besides, being a clown that you can laugh at, is being a clown whose mistakes you can learn from. I am more than happy to fail publicly here in front of you, and maybe you can learn some lessons from my lessons, and so on. If you got all the way to the end of this video, and I know it was longer than I expected, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is the time when I do the call for action. If you haven't played Dominion yet, it's a great time to do it. I haven't fixed the typos yet, so it gives you a chance to go and catch those typos and then go to my Discord server and make fun of me for them. The links to the Discord server, the itch.io page, are all down there in the description. And of course, I would ask you, if you like this video, if you like this kind of content, if you want to keep following the progress of this game that I am making, please subscribe, comment below, tell me what you thought of this video. I like to end these with a bit of wisdom. Today the wisdom is probably about friendship. There is... So, Alexa, give me a friends are like quote, but make it cheesy. You need friends to hold things while you tie your shoes. This is post-edit Marco speaking. Thank you so much for watching this. I wanted to add a little extra bit of disclaimer. At the very beginning of this video, when I introduced myself, I did a theft. I stole the intro of another YouTuber called Kat Blaque. She says she makes content for introspective hot people. I just changed one word to people to gamer. And I did it because, we share that audience of introspective hot people, except mine are gamers. And I just don't know what to do just this once as a little homage. But I felt bad. So I'm adding this here so that I don't get called out, because I am a big Kat Blaque fan, and anything I did this for attention, I won't do it again. It's just this one time. I just did this one. I need people to it's so okay, goodbye.